We are on Trenitalia.
Jordan feels right at home.
I feel right at home. I missed Trenitalia. I feel like last summer all I heard in my ear was over the intercoms, Trenitalia. So, I'm back. Just casually there.
Well, we can tell we're not in Germany.
Nope, too far south. We have made it to our Airbnb in Roma. And we had a slightly chaotic metro ride, but it honestly,
fine.
It was fast, it was fine. We only had like 2 stops. And we are
In a building from the 1500s.
1500s.
Caravaggio used to live right around here too.
Yeah, very...
Everything's been built on top of older ruins here.
So Mozart performed in this palace that we're in, is that what it's saying?
In
This
the
palace
square.
saw...
Yeah,
Oh,
I think in
okay.
the square.
That is wild.
Oh yeah, the palace that's a museum that's like, yeah, right across the street from us.
Wow. Oh yeah, next door. Crazy. And look at this bathroom. It looks like, I don't know, it's crazy.
Looks like maybe Santa could come out there.
Yeah. Okay. We've made it to Piazza Navona. What do you think, Cameron?
Very pretty. Yeah. So cool.
Oh, the architecture. Don't look at that. It's I have to keep this for the vlog. Cameron, every time we go to a new place, he instantly goes to ChatGPT to ask all the historical facts, and it does a good job.
Yeah, it's good.
It's easy. It tells you what you need to know. Yeah. Cameron's having his first pizza in Italy.
Awesome.
We're at this
We
place.
told them yay much, and they gave us yay much.
They did.
It's originally from one of the many Egyptian obelisks that were brought to Rome during the period of the Roman Empire. An initial erected at Temple of Ra by the Pharaoh Ramses II, who you've definitely heard of. It was brought from Rome and first placed in the Temple of Isis, which is...
There are holes in the middle all around when it's raining. The water gets inside. Then there are 2 around.
Forgot to document it. Cameron got his first gelato.
Very good.
And now we are headed to... What do you say? Oh. Nice. This is where Tosca, the first act, was based. Apparently this building was the setting of the first act of Tosca, which is wild. What do you think of all this, Cameron?
I mean, I am in love. This is crazy. And it's just so old.
Yeah.
I was wondering, it's so weird to just think like all of these city streets we walk down, people like Pompey and Julius Caesar and just all of these historical figures walk down the same exact roads and saw the same exact buildings you were seeing.
It's insane. About to get hit. Most celebrities, like, ever I didn't take any. So we just went to the opera for about 15-20 minutes, and it was fine. The acoustics were really washy, so you couldn't really hear the vocalists super well, and we were in the back, so we couldn't really see them. And I was like, we have one night in Rome together, and so I was like, there's no point in watching a show that I'm not even that thoroughly impressed with. So now we've walked here, and the Roman Forum's near us, and
I've never seen it before.
yeah, he's never seen any of this, so we're just gonna kind of walk around down here. Actually, we probably want to go this way. Okay. We've arrived at the Roman Forum.
Very cool.
So cool. And there's the Colosseum.
I mean, yeah, it just feels like you're back in time.
It's wild. Colosseum. Why would I call him? I see him. It is 7:15 and we are headed to Pompeii.
It's just empty in Rome right
Yeah,
now.
it's weird.
And it's just empty. It's us and some cops and street cleaners, and that's it.
It's wild. We're about to go by the Trevi, so I'm wondering how busy it will be right now. Here. But definitely not half as much as last night. So pretty. We have arrived in the town of Pompeii. Now we are walking to the destination where our tour is going to start. We're slaying at Pompeii.
We can reconstruct something, but just to has been just to protect the mosaic, because frescoes, still the original ones, these are all original. Of course, they're vanishing because after many, I can give you at least two possibilities. If needed, the most probable is that in Italy, in many basilicas sometimes are churches. You remember that the layout would be similar. 1, 2, 3, for the naves. Or if you see the columns in a church, you can think, but there's an altar. Pliny the Elder was a guy, kind of scientist of that time. He actually wrote 3 books. The Naturalis Historia is the most famous one.
Laying down and kind of move up.
Because marble was important. On the top, the 4 part was important sometimes. I will show you better when you see a fountain. Not a man, if you see 2 horns. It was bigger, 4,000 square.
We just had a very successful day at Pompeii.
Yeah.
It was so cool. It's insane to see all these paintings and architecture and stuff that was like
Did
so
not look,
old.
Yeah.
It did not look that old. Like if you would have told me it was like 200 years old, I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, I believe that.
I believe that.
Yeah, it looks
But
so
2,000?
crazy.
No. Okay, we're gonna go see if we can get to the ocean. Cameron's having his first Peroni. Pretty good.
It's very good.
Yeah.
It's light, but it tastes awesome right
Yeah,
now.
it's hot today, but we just got some. He got a. We've been slightly bad with the vlog today. We are back in Rome at Piazza Navona again.
About to go eat dinner.
Let's go eat dinner. We just had a train ride home where we met an Australian lady about our age, and we sat on the train and talked to her for an hour and a half on the ride home, and she was cool.
Yep.
And she was just traveling alone, and we had like tons in common with her. which is so funny. She was talking about how she tried to play Dark Souls, and she was like, I died to this rat at the beginning of the game, and then I rage quit. And then we were like,
We know the rat.
I think we know what rat you're talking about. And she was like, is it on the side of the cliff? And then we were like, yeah, and then you go left. And she was like, oh my gosh, you do know the rat.
Yeah.
It was funny. So she was cool, got her Instagram.
Pompeii was awesome.
Pompeii
obviously.
was so cool. So ridiculous. So now we are headed to Traverse or something. It's the kind of south part of the old part of town that
Yeah.
is apparently supposed to have good restaurants and be slightly less tourist, but I'm sure we're gonna get there and it's just gonna be packed. So.
Yeah, we'll see.
But it's okay. I'm gonna try and take some videos of dinner because I want Cameron to try an Aperol Spritz because you can't leave Italy and not have an Aperol Spritz. And he's gonna have a margarita pizza, hopefully. So
Hopefully.
we will see you then.
See ya.
I got an Aperol and Cameron got a beer.
Huh?
Okay, I got the carbonara and I got an Aperol Spritz. And Cameron got beer and he got the cacio e pepe. We'll have to see what we think. So I think we liked it.
It was really good.
Yeah, mine was also really good. We wiped our plates clean. Well, almost. We wiped everything else clean.
I was just also glad this did not ruin Kraft pasta, mac and cheese, or spaghetti for me.
Yes, he says it still holds
It
up.
still hit the same.
Yeah.
Right.
I got chocolate, cafe, and Oreo.
I got chocolate and strawberry.
We'll have to get our verdict. Mine's really good. I think my favorite is the cafe. What's your favorite out of the two?
I don't know. The chocolate and strawberry is so different. I can't pick.
Okay. We are headed to the Vatican to do our two tours. One of St. Peter's and one of the Sistine Chapel.
Very excited.
Very excited. Here we go.
Okay? Yes, by the toilets.
Anche dopo l'invocazione dello Spirito Santo, il pane sembra pane, il vino sembra vino, il sapore è lo stesso, la consistenza è la stessa.
Alligator. Oh my god, it's so busy.
At the Coliseum on the 3rd level, you can see barely where some stands are left, but actually this row of columns would actually have the stands on it. So I'm standing technically like where you'd get concessions at a modern day stadium, and the stairs would be over us right now. Still on the top floor. You can see here the skeleton. The Romans used bricks as the interior and cement, which are both Roman inventions. If this wasn't completely decayed, you'd have a roof coming back to us from that arch over there, and then there'd be more seats on top of that. And back before the Colosseum was looted, all the brick that you see would have a marble facade on top of that. All that was eventually stripped away and used for other construction projects around Rome, unfortunately. But you can still see all the skeleton that made up the Colosseum. And over on the east side, you can see a section of restored marble seating, and that's how it would have looked all the way back in Roman times. Here's another view. The cross down there is thought to be possibly where the emperor's box used to be. Obviously the floor was all covered with wood and then sand was on top of it. The very bottom row of seats would have been reserved for senators and very wealthy patrons. The rows that where I'm at up here and up here would have been for just the general population and just Roman citizens. And then at the very top there would have been wooden stands built, and that would have been for slaves, the poorest of the poor, POWs, if they were allowed to come, and women were sat all the way up there. So yeah. Here's the Arch of Titus. It was made around 70 AD. This is an arch that commemorated the defeat of Israel and the Jews against the Romans. The Romans ended up making the Jews build this temple in commemoration of their own defeat. So kind of crazy. The underside has a bunch of Roman propaganda underneath it, so I'm about to go underneath the arch. Here you can see the backside of just a sliver of the Temple of Vesta. Here's actually the courtyard and then the house of the Vestal Virgins. They were also regarded as priestesses. They could also own property, and if they served out their 30-year term, they were given a large sum of money, and they were allowed to marry after they retired. There were other reports that if they broke their vow of chastity, they could have also been strapped to a cart and buried alive. So that was the other option. Here, kind of in the main area of the Roman Forum. That tiny little area over there is called the Temple of Caesar, and it's where Caesar's body was burned after he was murdered by all the senators. Fire actually got so big when they were burning it, because of citizens throwing on flowers and anything they could find, the fire department actually had to come put the fire out. So this is the main Roman Forum out here. Super cool.
I just got to my little Airbnb in Crema. It's so cute. And I'm about to shower, and I think I'm just gonna go walk around and get some food and then just chill. I don't know, maybe read my book somewhere. Here we go. Aperol spritz, and this is like what everyone eats here as like a little appetizer. It's so funny. So I literally destroyed this pizza before I could even make this video, but I got it was a full pizza, and it looks a little, you know, drab now because it's cold and whatever, but it was an entire margherita pizza for €5, and it was amazing. And those last clips were me eating some little appetizers here. It's kind of funny, they at 6 until 8, they eat cold little slices of pizza, sandwiches, and Aperol spritz and olives and stuff as little appetizers. And then I guess dinner doesn't start until 8:30 or something, which is wild. So those are my little appetizers. So far, good vibes here, for sure. This is only $3.50, so good. Good morning. I'm casually sitting here eating my croissants where Elio and Oliver stood right there. That's wild. My tour is about to start. I'm so excited.
It's funny because the scene started and it is day, but when they arrive in the square, it is night. This is the correct, the exactly position where they shoot it. Yeah. You need a picture? No, you can use mine if you want. Here with Elio and Oliver, just close by that is just a gate to separate the main square to the main city. Yeah. So Oliver, he was standing in the newspaper. La provincia. The table and the chair came from this place and of the main set. This is the situation when they filmed the movie because it was a pretty raining May, and when you rain. So cool. Oh no way. And you will stay in Crema tonight. Yeah. You will move. And in September 2018, they showed the movie in the castle.
Nuvola. Nuvola means cloud.
What This shop told me that Timothée Chalamet went in the shop to put drops because he has to cry.
Fai nocciola.
On Ponte Vecchio, which translates to Old Bridge. It was built multiple times out of wood, but whenever the city would flood, the bridge would wash itself out. And finally they put in a stone bridge in the 1300s, and that is the same exact bridge that is still here today, so it's 700 years old. Here's Pitti Palace. It was made in 1458. I think there was some additions later on. It eventually got bought out and became a royal palace in the 1500s, and then eventually this also served as a place of power for Napoleon when he reigned and when he had control over Italy. Very cool.
Cameron and I have reunited, and we are, well actually look, I can just show you where we are. Ta-da! Florence, Firenze.
It's like right outside the Airbnb.
Yeah, it's crazy. Our Airbnb is like right by the Duomo. God, it's so big.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It is huge. That dome is insane.
Yeah.
I have eaten nothing today, so I'm trying to, well, first I'm taking a little look at this church. And then,
First day we've been flipped on food. I've had
Yeah.
so much to eat today.
and I've had nothing. So I'm gonna try to get some food. And this lady's looking at me. Okay. It is the next morning. We are headed to London again. Here we go. London. Cameron and I are at Weatherspoons, the iconic chain pub. And Cameron has tried Stella, I don't remember the second. He's tried Stella, that's what I've been calling it. Stella Art, I don't know how to say it.
Great, yeah.
He really liked the Stella, which I do too. That's really so good. And then now he's trying the cheap Carlsberg. Not as good, but it's cheap. So I know I was hoping they would have Amstel here, but maybe we can find another pub on the way home to try Amstel at or something. So, and then he tried the cider too. And yeah. Okay, Cameron's trying Birra Moretti for the first time. Okay, you gotta take a sip and tell me anything. Honest review.
Pretty hoppy. Tastes a little like weed, actually. Pretty good, though.
Okay.
Is it just
I'm
a
a
normal
fan.
lager? Yeah. It's a good lager. Good hops, good taste.